Hi, welcome back to the CNT podcast. My name is Tommy Terrio,
And I'm Justin Yomo.
and today we're going to be talking about rules that we want to see changed, improved, or just overall created in the wonderful game of baseball.
Which could
But
be happening with the lockout.
yeah, I mean, there's so much potential. So let's
There's
just,
a few things that we're actually going to talk about that are going to be talked about during this lockout that we could see happen as soon as 2022.
yeah, I mean, ideally, some of these things get changed, but we shall
Yeah.
see. First off, though, I want to show off card of the week. So let me make sure you all can see it first, because
It's a
don't want
beautiful
that to happen.
card.
Okay, here you go. This is a Jay Buener game used bat relic at which is 6 out of 9. So that's really cool. I mean, Mariners legend. I also like the design of the overall card, like just the
Mhm.
designs in the corners. I think that's fun.
I
Um,
I have one critique I want to say real quick.
okay,
I wish that his name would be on the jersey.
yeah, that is. I think that is unfortunate. I don't know. I assume there's something with licensing,
Yeah, I mean it's Leaf, so I don't think they actually have the licensing.
but
But
is
that
still a
is
really cool
that's
looking.
the one thing about that card that kind of irritates me.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just it's just a little frustrating.
Enough to make me want to trade for it.
Yeah, I figured you would still be in. He's still interested. We all know this.
It's a very nice card. Is it available for trade or is that PC?
That is for trade.
Okay. So if anyone watching is interested, his at is Tom T
Tom
cards,
Tom T
correct?
cards. Yep.
Yeah. Mine's CNT cards if you want to make a trade with me.
Quick shout out. Quick shout out. So
Mhm. So I'm gonna lead it off with the first rules I have, which is playoff brackets. I think the playoff bracket needs to change. I think the playoffs need to be a little more like the NBA. I think having the fact that the Dodgers had the second most wins in the league and had to play in the wild card and almost lost that is ridiculous. I think it should be 7 teams make it. So not exactly like the NBA, but similar. 7 teams make it, one from each division at least. And then it's seeded. 1, 2 through 7. They're all seeded up, and the one seed gets a bye. And so that's how I think the playoff bracket ideally should be like, and that's what I want to see. And so then, so for saying the one seed gets the bye, 2 seed plays the 7 seed, 3 seed, 6 seed, and then 4 and 5 play each other in a best of two. I'm sorry, best of 3 series. So first to 2 wins, and then you move on. That's wild card. Then you move on to NLDS, where you have we're just gonna have the upper seeds win two versus two versus
3, 1, and 2.
4 and 1 versus 3, best of
Yeah.
7. Then NLCS for 1 and 2, best of 7, and then you get to the World Series best of 7 with the 1 and 1 if we're continuing the higher seeds winning. I think that is ideally what the playoff bracket should be. It would extend the playoffs being longer too. Maybe get some World Series play on Thanksgiving if everything goes to as many games as possible. I think overall that'd be good for the game. Having more teams in the playoffs is always good. And I think it helps eliminate a little bit of this tanking that everyone hates.
Yeah. I think okay. I like it, but not for the logic you presented. I think the Dodgers belong in the wild card game, and the reason I say that is they weren't able to win their division.
That is fair. And they'd still be playing in the wild card weekend, but I mainly use that as an example as there's not enough playoff teams.
Yeah, I think like I said, I want to expand the playoffs too because I think it does two things. First off, it increases like the playoff market to more fans. Side note, like this is point 1.5 that I like it. The Mariners have a better chance of making it.
Yeah.
And number two, like I mean if we want to relate this back to the lockout, the players want more money. Like this is a great opportunity. There's so many more playoff bonuses and everything else that can be cashed in.
Hmm.
Like this is a great avenue for them.
Yeah. I definitely think the playoffs need to be expanded. or maybe go all in like the NBA, have everything best of 7, and have 8 teams instead. I believe what the MLB proposed before the lockout was 8 or 7 teams. One seed gets the bye, and then higher seed picks their opponent.
I don't
I
like the
like
pick.
I like the concept of the amount of teams, but picking their opponent, I disagree with. At one time in the NBA, I wanted that because I think about it. What if the 1 seed is the straight team, but the 8 seed had Kevin Durant and Stephen Curry injured, and then so they wouldn't pick them? I thought that could be cool, but at this time comes, the 1 seed always has to play the lowest seed. That's how it's always been. I think that's how it always should be.
Yeah, I just don't think it belongs. Like, there shouldn't be an option. This is what you get. There shouldn't be that room for interpretation. I don't think that belongs in the game.
I agree. So what I want to see is 7 teams, playoff style, NBA style in the first round, and then seed matching up in a best of 7 for the NLDS, NLCS, and World Series.
Okay. So, I'm going to get into my first one. So, I want to first talk about the shift. So, it's complicated, right? We've heard in an interview that like defensive players should be able to do what they want to do, quite like football, and that the others should adjust. I just don't think that that's the way to do it. I think this wasn't the game for a long time, and this goes exactly against what the league is promoting. Like, I think it's a balance because the league is promoting exactly that which it isn't selling, in the sense that they're selling this offense. We're talking Judge, Soto, Otani, Trout mashing balls out of the ballpark. They're not marketing DeGrom. They're not marketing Scherzer as much. I think that if you're going to market offense and you're going to market all of this, like, the shift doesn't belong in the game.
I see. I'm weird with the shift because part of me wants it to stay and part of me wants it not to. Because I feel like it's very hard for players like Rizzo to adjust to the shift, and but I feel like they're risking that chance that Rizzo will just hit a scorcher down the third baseline and there's going to be nobody there. Like
Yeah,
they're
I mean, that's
running
the
that
hard
risk.
balance. I'm in that camp, but I just think I'm leaning more like 65-35 in favor of abolishing the shift.
Like I deep down, I think the shift should be abolished, but at the same time, they should be allowed to do what they want. Like I kind of want to see a team with like a Luis Robert type of player who can cover so much ground, run a 5-man infield and a 2-man outfield. Not that it would really ever work, nor would they ever. I believe I talked about this on an episode with a White Sox fan. Like I want to see that happen, but it's never
It
going
won't.
to.
That
I
isn't
want
realistic,
I want them to
unfortunately.
be able to do what they want, but at the same time, it's making the game less interesting, and that is not what the game of baseball needs right now. They need to be growing the game, not shrinking, which is also why this lockout is horrible for baseball. And so they should abolish the shift during this lockout and also not have a lockout again because it's going to shrink the game when it needs to be expanded and growing. I mean, they're making this big point to grow the game. Like it's been one of the biggest talked about things in baseball. And right now with the lockout, they're doing the exact opposite and shrinking it. So I think they should abolish the shift.
I mean, I don't know. I think we're both on the same side and on that same, we mostly want the shift gone, but like there's so much debate and controversy you can go with the shift.
It sucks and it'll be the show, that's for sure.
Yes.
Before we go on to the next one, I just want to say please subscribe. We're so close to 100. We're posting content every day, everywhere. We have the link to the Instagram, to the TikTok. It's all over the place. Please follow, subscribe, do whatever you can to support us.
Yep, and we're hosting a giveaway. You gotta get in on that. So once we hit 100 subscribers, we're gonna give away a whole bunch of good stuff. We got a Blake Taylor auto, a retro CNT sticker.
2 of them if we do it before the end of the year.
Yeah, and there's some other stuff that we're gonna throw in if we get it by the end of the year. But you guys gotta subscribe. We shall see what happens.
Blake Taylor prospect auto featured on CNT, pitched in the World Series. Same guy, Ricky Todd from this year. Retro CNT sticker. I've had this package that's been announced it, but last episode I agreed to add another one. 2 retro CNT stickers. Subscribe. We're like 4 away. Just if you really need to, make 4 new accounts. We don't mind. We just want to get there.
Nope, Justin, we don't support that. But yes, also we will reach out to you asking about your PC. I might throw something in from your PC if we get there by the end of the year. We shall see.
And on the off chance this happens, if we get to 200 by the end of the year, I will throw in a Tatis 1 of 1. We get to 200 by the end of the year.
Now that's a big brain there. All right.
I'm not being serious with that, but please subscribe.
You know what you have to do.
All right. 4 more, and then don't subscribe until the new year. Next up, Universal DH. What I want to see with the Universal DH is have the same thing in both leagues. If you're gonna have it in the American League, the National League needs it. If they're not having it in the National League, the American League shouldn't have it. I do care. I have a preference on which one I want, but they have to be the same. I love watching a manager being strategic during a game. Love saying, when should I take this pitcher out? Like, let's say it's an absolute pitcher's duel. Let's say Scherzer versus Marcus Stroman.
We can't say DeGrom anymore. Oh man.
I was gonna actually say DeGrom, and then I realized they're on the same team. Let's say they're having an absolute pitching duel. It's the 6th inning, 1-1. The Chicago Cubs, they decide to pinch hit Marcus Stroman for Patrick Wisdom, who had the day off. He strikes out, nothing happens. Cody Hero comes in, pitches a perfect game from him. Cubs win. I love seeing that. Also, Cody Hero can come in, blow the game, 5 home runs straight. Cubs lose. I love that part. I love seeing a manager having to be strategic. I also love seeing pitchers like DeGrom hit above 400 for the first 2 months of the season. Yet, I think the DH is needed because people like Kyle Schwarber, they are a liability on the field, and I'm a big Kyle Schwarber fan. I don't know how much longer he can stay in the league if he continues to make this many fielding errors and his hitting. If his hitting starts to decline, I don't know if he's an MLB player. That's how I see it. And so, for players like Schwarber and players like JD Martinez, they need the DH. And I say they're promoting the offense, like you said. Have the DH. It's fun. Yeah, we'll take a little bit of the strategy out of baseball, but overall, there's still so much in it. I think there should be a DH in both leagues, but none of the one has it, one doesn't crap.
I'll be honest. I don't want the DH at all.
Really?
I think that it promotes manager strategy and also incentivizes, putting in that extra work as a pitcher to become a hitter. Like, I think pitchers like DeGrom, there's some other guys out there. Feel free to put in the comments or at me on Instagram or something.
Brandon Woodruff.
Say that again.
Brandon Woodruff can hit.
Yeah. But I mean, there's guys like that prove it's possible. Like, I think
John Lester hit a home run in the 2016 postseason. I think he actually hit 2. Oh no, that was Kerry Wood.
There's one other guy. I think I got
it was Kerry Wood. Sorry.
One Mets legend, if you will. That is iconic pitcher home run.
Not
Bartolo and his legendary home run. Some great moments, but I think that it's a cop out for managers essentially. Like, I think that pitchers should be incentivized to put in that work to hit, and that I think it makes the game better, from a deeper thinking standpoint. And I think even if you're not, like, you're still going to have a fun time. Like, I think it's also fun to see somebody try something new, no matter what that is. It's fun to see somebody go out of their comfort zone and try something new. And I think that's something we can see I don't know. I think we keep. I think we keep it how it is. You keep the DH. I mean, things are in a decent balance right now. I think you still have to have that skill set, but I mean, like you, I think the balance is the balance is perfect. Not perfect. The balance is good enough where it is.
I hear what you're saying. I want to correct myself real quick. I was saying the wrong name. It was Travis Wood who hit 2 home runs in the 2016 postseason, as well as Jake Arrieta also hit one in the 2016 postseason off Madison Bumgarner.
There you go.
I see what you're saying, but I just think that not having it is just. I also think that if they do have the universal DH, they should add a 27th roster spot.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Give more people a chance to live out their dreams.
Also, it's like like you can bring in like a special, like a guy who's just solely a DH. Like I think
Like Kyle Schwarber. If the universal DH happens, Kyle Schwarber is going to be so much more valuable and get so much more money.
Nelson Cruz is another name.
Nelson Cruz, Shady Martinez. He's already getting paid a lot though.
Yeah, I don't. That one's not as good as some others, but you guys get the point.
Yeah, you get the point. What's your next rule?
Okay, so I got two to choose from. Which one do I want to do? I'm gonna start with pitch clock.
Go with the third one.
Go with the third one? Oh. Okay, so then we're not doing pitch clock. We'll save that for the end then. I'm gonna go with starting pitchers, rules surrounding starting pitchers. So this is one that isn't really talked about much, but okay. I'm gonna get hate for this. I already know it. This is an old-fashioned rule. I think there should be a starting pitcher clause. Starting pitchers must go 4 innings or give up X number of runs. You guys can leave that up to interpretation what that X number of runs should be. Maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5. I think 4 or 5. Maybe 6 is the number. But I think the biggest thing for this is this health and safety of relievers. Relievers are seeing the most time ever that they've ever faced. And that isn't good for like for their health and safety. And I think the other thing is the manager's priority shouldn't be, okay, are my guys going to be safe going out there? I think it should just be, will they have enough juice on their fastball? I think that's all it should be. And I think that's what we're going to get if we go back to this.
So I'm assuming in the game, in a World Series game many years ago, I think it was 1970-ish. I believe it was the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians, against, I don't know who. I read this in the baseball funny stories, but I don't remember all of it. The one manager started a left-handed pitcher. He had it written down. He was starting right-hander. So the opposing manager had a left-hander, one of his best players, come in. But then the manager switched to a left-handed pitcher. The other manager took the batter out, his best player, pinch hit him, just for the other manager to then go switch and put his actual starter, a right-hander, in to avoid having to pitch against that one player. Again, I know I read this book like 3-4 years ago, like a couple years before CNT was ever started, so I don't remember it all. But I'm assuming you don't like that idea because it takes.
I think that's scummy. By the way, I don't know what time you're referencing that the Indians made it, because the last time they made it
might not have been the Indians, and it might not have been the right year. Like I said, I read this book probably 5 years ago.
Yeah. So, but you guys get the idea. But yeah, I just don't like. I disagree. What's the term? Do you know what's the term for it now? Like a person that goes 1 inning to start the game.
Just starter. Because here's what I'm thinking. Let's say Jake Arrieta gets another chance. He goes in there, first inning, he gives up 5 runs. You want to take him out, but if you say the rule 6, he has to stay in for another 3 innings. That's not going to be good for him or his health.
Well, I'm just saying, we can, it's up to interpretation what the rule,
in the first inning, man, I let him in 5 runs and I have to stay in. That's not going to be good for his mental health.
I don't think 6 is right. I think it's 4 or 5. I think that makes the most sense.
I think that you've been praising how they are doing all this offense stuff. I think you have to stick with that. I don't think there should be a time constraint on starting pitchers. I
Other
think
thing is,
I think there should be a minimum of 3 batters faced for relievers, but not. I do not think that starters have to go a certain amount of time. Maybe like 1 or 2 innings, but 4 innings I think is too much.
the other concern, the other area of concern that could arise is, yes, any injuries, they will get taken out. That doesn't, like, there would be an exemption for
Yeah,
that.
I assume that injuries they wouldn't make him stay out for an injury.
Well, no, I don't think I mean, I don't know. Who is it? Max Fried this past World Series looked really good on a fractured
I mean, Clay
fractured
Thompson
leg
a few
bone.
years back man shot 2 free throws. Well, it looked like a torn
Torn ACL,
torn
yeah.
ACL. You'll be surprised what some athletes can do with broken bones.
Well, yeah, I think just don't though. If you're okay, PSA to any high school professional, whatever athlete, don't, for the life of you, don't fight through the injury.
Yeah. However, you shouldn't. But if you do,
Do good.
Cool story. It'd be a very cool story, but don't
Send it to us. If you do, send it to us, but we don't recommend
we'll
it.
post it. Any sport too, not just baseball. That'd be mad impressive. But don't do it.
Don't do it. But do it. But okay. Continuing on.
Okay. My next one is it's a big one. It's the extra inning runner. I hate it. This is one thing Chris Bryant and me disagree on. He said he liked it late at night, and it caught on video. I've seen it multiple times. He said he likes it. He feels like the game goes by faster. He's wrong. It's not fun. Where's the strategy? You just have to hit 2 fly balls deep enough into the outfield. Boom, you gotta run.
Yeah, 2 sack flies. It's stupid.
But it should not be abolished. The idea of it is actually pretty good. The execution of it was horrible. What do you expect from Rob Manfred? I doubt he came up with the idea.
I got a
fired.
solution. I got a solution.
I have a solution that I actually have written down for this.
You go first, and I'll get mine.
I've been kind of getting into hockey with the new Seattle team. I'll be honest. Seattle Kraken. Well, I'm pretty sure he made the hat TikTok from last episode. I'm pretty sure he said he had a Kraken beanie in it.
I can grab it if you
go
want.
get it. You're fine.
Here it is.
Okay, back to baseball.
Okay,
So-
keep going.
I want to do something like that. In hockey, after the 3 periods, I know one time in an episode I didn't say periods. You got really upset with me. After
There
the
we
3 periods,
go.
there's an overtime period. Is there a second one or is it just one?
So in the
It's
regular
just-
season,
I know what
there's
happens
just one.
after it. I know is there 1 or 2?
There's just one in the regular season.
There's 1. After that, they go to a shootout, which is the greatest thing in hockey. Just like and the greatest thing in a home run derby is a pitch off. I love the pitch off. Was very excited when we had one last year. They go into a shootout. That is what I think baseball should do, something similar. So, okay, after 9 innings, a 0-0 game between the Cubs and the Mariners. Go the 10th and the 11th inning, regular baseball. And then in the 12th inning, that's when you add in the run around second. And then you just keep it up. It will keep the game going a little bit faster. Like if we probably won't see another 15 plus inning game, but at least we won't have all extra inning games going to only 10 innings.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually. I think there's 2 options, right? So my first suggestion was actually exactly what you said. Just abolish it for the 10th and 11th, bring it back in the 12th, and then try to get this game done as soon as possible. I think the other option is abolish it completely in the regular season and bring it back in the postseason.
No.
Okay, here's my justification for this, right? The biggest problem is that every single postseason game is prime time. Do you guys? I don't know if you guys remember.
That's a good thing, not a bad thing.
No, I'm saying that it's a good thing that it's prime time. It gets it to more people, right? That's not the problem I have with it, right? Here, I'm going to take this off. We're not a hockey podcast. But yeah. So I think that we have, what was it? 2018. Red Sox Dodgers. 18 innings going. What was it? It ended like 3 a.m. Eastern time. That's not good
Right.
for baseball. I think we fix it in the postseason, but I think it isn't. I don't think it's necessary in the I don't think it's necessary in the regular season as much. I like my first suggestion better, but I think the second. I think the
This is like how I said, like this is more like the universal DH. You have to have it or not have it. I think that it should stay the same. You either have it always, not have it at all, or do what I proposed. Not this, because that makes the playoffs are so much more important than the regular season. That's where you need to be strategic. Having, let's say, like what I said, Marcus Stroman, Matt Scherzer going at it. Is 1-1 game. They pitched the whole time. We get into the top of the 10th with the runner on. Stroman doesn't even give up any hits. Just 2-3 straight sac flies. There's a run in. He didn't do anything wrong, and he gets the loss.
maybe we do it in reverse. Maybe we do it in reverse then.
In reverse, I can get behind. The
playoffs
are too important to have that dumb of a rule in it.
I don't know. I think it's hard.
They didn't have it in it last season in the postseason.
Like I said, I still like just waiting till the 12th. That's the idea I'm going to go with.
That is ideal. That's what we want.
Okay. Are you cool if I go on to the last one?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So I referenced it already, but I want to talk about the pitch clock. I think we have to strike a balance. They're marketing offense, but they can't go overboard. Okay. Is that fair?
Balls. I'm sorry. Side note. Did you see that Manfred in 2021 had some unjuiced balls and some juiced balls in circulation? Terrible commissioner. He needs to be fired. Go on.
So I think that we need to strike a balance. I've talked about striking a balance. That's what the whole CBA is about to begin with. And I think we need to strike a balance between offense and defense. And I think in the at-bat itself, not what's going on around it, but just in the at-bat, pitcher, catcher, batter, umpire, obviously, but that's not the part.
Home plate. The mound.
The paint.
Continue.
I think that the batter has gained too much control over the at-bat. They can take however much time they want. They need to kink out of their neck. They got to tap all over, get their superstitions going. No, that's not it.
Picture with the fans, sign a few autographs.
If you remember, Nelson Cruz took a picture with, what was it? Was it Joe West? They took a picture with. Yachty took his picture, and it was the All-Star game in Miami, 2017.
Okay, All-Star game. I don't think these rules should ever.
Well, no, but I'm just saying that. But just an example, just something like that happens.
Also, I can actually let me give this example for what you're saying. Josh Donaldson would not go up to bat until a fan of the opposing team would touch his bat, and it took a few minutes.
Yeah, that's just stupid. It wastes time. It wastes precious audience time, which is what the league wants. And I think that people like Mark Beerley are the perfect example of one end, and then I don't know, there's everybody else on the other end, essentially. It feels like at this point. But I think you install a pitch clock. I don't know what time it is. I mean, that's up to that. I would need to do heavily in-depth research to see the ideal time for strategy and everything else to be involved. I would spend hours looking at film and everything else, but that's not the point.
Sounds fun.
No, I don't know. I would enjoy it, but I'm just saying that.
I'm saying that sounds like fun.
I don't have time for that kind of prep, unfortunately.
Yeah, we got other projects brewing.
But yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, I like it. I knew.
We've already seen it also successfully work elsewhere too. It's been proven to work in other independent baseball organizations. Yeah. So,
also quick little one. We're not going to go in depth on it. Higher nuance that needs to happen. Not really a rule. It just needs to happen.
For some, there's some that are quite good.
No, everyone just needs to be retrained. They don't have to be fired. They're just retrained.
Yeah.
They are so bad. Like no, I'm not gonna get into it, but that Dodgers Giants tall to end the series, horrendous. Would the Giants have won that game? Probably not. Tall, horrendous.
I don't know if robot umps are the solution though.
I don't think they are, but I think something needs to change.
Do you mind if I just talk about why they aren't?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
I think it takes the fun out of the game. I almost don't want, like, I want everything. I want almost anything reviewable. Like, I don't want everything challengeable just because it'll take forever. But I want more things reviewable. But I want it to stay mostly the way that it is.
I also one thing I want is I don't want the Dodgers to be able to review things that are unreviewable like they did in Use the Tubs a few years back.
It is what it. I mean, but I think
No,
human
no.
error is partly what makes the game fun.
I
and
like
what
that, but
it keeps conversations going. I think
I agree.
that's
I agree.
another
But
good thing.
the Dodgers challenged something they were not allowed to challenge, and the umps allowed it, and it cost the Cubs the game.
That
That
is
can't
sketchy.
happen. That can't. Just goes to show the Dodgers have been paying the umps.
You're not supposed to mention that. We don't talk about that, man.
Oh yeah, Manfred said to keep that down low. Manfred needs to be fired.
Manfred needs to go.
What I don't understand is that baseball and all sports continuously hire people to run the leagues who don't like the sport.
I miss the
Adam
good old.
Silver,
There's some.
Roger Goodell, and Rob Manfred. I'll take Adam Silver out because he actually does an okay job. Roger Goodell and Rob Manfred both suck at their job, and neither of them like the sport that they run. They need to fire them and hire people who actually care about the game. If you want to grow baseball, get someone to run baseball who loves baseball and not money.
I think that's a good. I don't know. Manfred needs to be fired. I mean, I think we should take a long, in-depth look at what. I think that should be another episode. What do we want a commissioner? Like, I'm just going to say that out right now. Maybe you see that in the near future.
Put it on the list.
Yeah, I will.
With the lockout happening, we have no new content to make.
Hey, we're better than MLB.com. I'll tell you that. We are still going to be putting out content.
Off our cameras for those watching on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know you appreciate it.
I'll do it. I'll do it just to support. Oh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Good times.
You're not your profile.
Nah, they don't care. It's a good laugh. Good blooper. It's a good time.
But on the list, is at the very least it would be an Instagram post.
Yeah, I mean,
at the very least.
Yeah, I think Rob Manfred needs to go as well. But I like I said, they need a long, hard look into what actually needs to be, like what actually commissioner needs to be, because there's a difference between stitching somebody up and fully fixing the problem, or just sticking a band-aid on it and calling it good.
Yeah. Before we close out, I just want to say the amount of ideas we get for Instagram episodes, TikToks, while recording is phenomenal. Just think about it. The one time in the Dream Cards episode, the clip of me just talking about how we might make this a clip, and then we had to make it a clip, brought no context for it being a clip. We just talked about it. The hat TikTok, and now an episode or something on what we want to see in a commissioner.
Yep.
And those are just three off the top of my head. It's phenomenal.
And like I've mentioned before, like if you guys want to see any specific things, just let us know. Hit us up.
Yeah. There's a comment section down below. There should be. Every time I upload, I always have allowed comments, and sometimes we'll have comments disabled. I don't mean to have them disabled. For some reason, they just are. So if it's not open, just DM us on Instagram. We'll always respond.
Yep.
Also, if you want to join our fantasy league, please do. As of right now, you get an already drafted team and get a keep of 6 people. However, if you don't get enough people, that will change. But to guarantee a spot, make sure to DM us. That you cannot do in the comments. We sometimes miss that. DMs on Instagram, we don't miss. If you want to be in our fantasy baseball league, DM us.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just reach out. I mean, we're
also
really actually pretty consistent. I like it a lot. Just
little side note: if you are in the league, you could be featured on an episode. Little spoiler: for our next fantasy draft, Tommy is going to be doing his draft and recording it on his computer. So he'll be doing his draft while we record on the computer. If he does it on his computer, he'll share his screen a little bit. I'll be in the call doing the episode during the draft, as well as being live. So if you are in the league drafting with us, I will invite you to go live at some point in the draft where you will be featured, your voice at least, on that episode.
Yeah, and we will. Yep, we will. That will be uploaded to YouTube afterwards. I don't know what day it's going to fall on. We shall see.
That's going to be CNT like 170 something, I think. It will be an actual episode. CNT insert number fantasy draft. It'll be a longer episode. Might be north towards an hour. And it'll also be live stream. You can catch the episode live for the first time ever.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah. So we gotta get going. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Yep. Thank you again. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.